Makers, and this is Reverend Kevin Rice, and I'm here with a bunch of people here in West Palm Beach with Reverend Susan Stone. And tonight we are reviewing Lesson 189, I Feel the Love of God Within Me Now. Do you? I hope so. And before we go through the lesson together, Reverend Susan Stone will lead us in our posture. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Hello. I know you're here. I have a couple announcements first. Just to remind you about our contest for the complete edition of Course in Miracles. It's a regularly $48 book, and we're doing a drawing. So as you remember, all you have to do is submit your favorite Course in Miracles quote through Facebook's on the comment section, and we will enter you into our free drawing. You have 4 weeks left, but do it now. You can enter more than once. I know that most of the people in this room have done it, and the odds are really good. You're going to get this great new edition. Kevin and I love this book. We also have an opening for a social media volunteer. We need help with our social media, and anybody who has time and talent in that area, we would be very welcome to hear from you. All you have to do is private message Kevin or I, and we will get right back to you.
And the description is in the comments below.
Yes, and the description and the requirements are in the comments. Also, last thing, we're going to do whole brain again, but we're going to do it a little different. So this time we are going to program in the lesson into our subconscious. Exciting, right?
Yes.
So I know. Woohoo! We're going to do some Psyche today. So cross your left ankle over, just your ankle. Put your hands in front of you. My book is falling off. And cross your left wrist. Roll your fingers so that your palms are together like this. And then you can either roll it up in your lap or in your chest or in your lap. I said that wrong. Either in your lap or up into your chest. Go ahead, Lori. So close your eyes. Start to breathe in through your nose and put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. What we're doing is we're slowing the mind down into alpha waves. This is a very relaxed state where rapid subconscious change can occur. So what we're going to do is we are going to say the sentence from the lesson, I feel the love of God within me now. We're going to repeat that over and over and over to ourselves. So just silently in your own mind, say to yourself, I feel the love of God within me now. Repeat that over and over until you feel a shift. It might be a physical change, an emotional kind of letting go, or it might even be just like an intellectual, I've got this. So continue to repeat, I feel the love of God within me now. And when you feel that shift, again, it might be a change in pressure, it might be just a wave of energy, it might just be a letting go of breath and relaxation. When you feel that, you can open your eyes. So I'll just give everybody a moment. I feel the love of God within me now. And as you open your eyes, uncross your ankles and your wrists and put your fingers together like this. And with your eyes open, just lock in again to yourself. I feel the love of God within me now. And do that for about 10 seconds. Excellent. So what you've just done is you've programmed that in. So all the resistance to I feel the love of God within me now is gone. And this is yours. Okay? Everybody, how do you feel?
Good.
Yeah?
Really good.
Yeah? Did you feel a shift?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
I felt warm.
Good. You felt warm. So one last thing, because I am the housekeeping person, I wanted to remind you we are a 501c3 charity, and we do certainly appreciate your financial donations and support. There's a donate button there, and all your donations are tax deductible. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our leader and inspiring Reverend Kevin. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Lori. All right. Look, I want to remind you as well, all of you here, that this is a safe place. You will not be judged, attacked, guilted, or shamed in any way. Only loved. And here at TASA, we will always use words and behaviors that reflects kindness, healing, graciousness, respect, courteous, and always being authentic as well. And from A Course in Miracles, you can say this to yourself silently. Our eyes, our tongues, our hands, our feet today have but one purpose: to be given Christ to use to bless the world with miracles. And that's what we do each and every day. And now before we move to reviewing the lesson tonight, a few reminders, just a few here. Every week we're here in West Palm Beach, and it's completely free. And it's obviously free to you as well. Of course, if you want to donate, you can here. Or you can go to the website, too, to be more private. Also, we added the ability to record each and every week this Facebook Live. So if you want to watch the video or share it to your friends and family, go to our website, theacademyofspiritualawakening.org. That's right there in the description, and you can enjoy it each and every week. Right there under A Course in Miracles. Actually, that's what it is. Yes, A Course in Miracles in the website. Also, my friend Dove Fishman, also known as David Fishman, is a dear friend of mine, and he's doing a retreat in Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, October 5 through the 8th, and it's going to be wonderful. And the flyer for that is going to be, by the way, here on the table here for you to see, and also in our website as well, and here on the comments as well. October 5 through 8, and it's a retreat on A Course in Miracles. And Dove Fishman is one of the most, what I consider to be a scholar of A Course in Miracles. So I really want to promote him and the retreat as well. And one final thing that I think that you will find this to be very interesting. Can you give me that? I got one right here. You know, we are using A Course in Miracles based on the original handwritten notes of Helen Schuckman. Okay, so what we are doing, and I've talked to many of you here about this, in about a month, July 20th, we are starting this book together, starting with the 50 miracle principles within this version. Now, whether you have the other versions that you use, that's fine. You know, you can use that as a reference too. But each of those 50 miracle principles that are used are very exhaustive in terms of the information that each principle offers you and me. And it's much more than the previous versions that offers you. So again, this is 2,000 pages more than the other versions that most people use. And by the way, we got some shipment of this here in West Palm Beach, if you guys are interested. And so Of course, it's on the website as well, the Academy of Spiritual Awakening. All right, so let's get into the course here, Lesson 189. And normally what we do, we'll start over here and go around. If you don't want to read the paragraph, just say pass, and we'll go to the next person. So it's not, again, we have no agenda here, no expectation whatsoever. Again, it's Lesson 189. I feel the love of God within me now. And I have another one if anybody needs one. Okay. And Susan, can you begin? And so I can give
Sure.
my commentary of it.
Well, how many would you like me to read?
Right now, just to one.
Okay. Lesson 189. I feel the love of God within me now. There is a light in you the world cannot perceive. And with its eyes you will not see this light, for you are blinded by the world. Yet you have eyes to see it. It is there for you to look upon. It was not placed in you to be kept hidden from your sight. This light is a reflection of the thought we practice now. To feel the love of God within you is to see the world anew, shining in innocence, alive with hope, and blessed with perfect charity and love.
Okay. You know, this is one of my favorite lessons in A Course in Miracles. Because, you know, it's one thing to conceptualize the lesson in your mind. It's another point to actually feel it, to experientially feel the love of God within you now. So I hope that you experienced that, what Susan offered earlier. You an opportunity to move away from the world for a moment and to go within and to really acknowledging yourself of who you really are, the identity of what you really are. And part of that is knowing that you don't need to love, that you are in fact love. And there's a huge difference. So let's just say that together again. I feel the love of God within me now. Let's say that together. I feel the love of God within me now. Let's say it again. I feel the love of God within me now. So a couple of things here. I love this, by the way. I've been drinking it every week here. It's lemonade. It's called a sparkling ice lemonade.
Sparkling ice lemonade?
Yes, it's really good. At Publix. Okay, a couple of things here. First,
I know, free plug.
yeah, free plug. I'm sure we're getting paid from Publix for doing this. I want to talk to you about the light. You know, many of my students in Miami, formerly, and here as well, think that when I use the word light, that I am referring to a metaphor, and I'm not. That light is a reality. And you will begin to experience that light as you are practicing the lessons of the text in the Course in Miracles, as well as the lessons that we are being presented to. So your experience with light has nothing whatsoever to do with your physical eyes. It does have something to do, however, with your mind. That when you begin to shift your mind about the world, when you begin to shift your perception about your identity and what we are really in this sojourn together, then you begin to have flashes of light. You know, I have been a teacher and a student of A Course in Miracles probably for nearly 30 years.
Yes, you have.
So I started this when I was 21, I think, after a psychologist gave me A Course in Miracles, because I was about really, in a very delicate position at that moment. And he gave me that, and I was very skeptical about A Course in Miracles, but nevertheless, I went through the lessons. And I think that I went to about lesson 14 or 15, and I'm doing it every day for the first time. And by the way, your experience of this is going to be different than mine. Just keep in mind this fact. So I was on like lesson 13 or 14, and I'm in a church, a fundamentalist Christian church that I was just leaving, by the way. And all of a sudden, I'm with my friend Chad, and all of a sudden, I see this. The entire room was a huge auditorium, was filled with light instantly. And I was astonished by it. And I looked at my friend Chad, and I said, Chad, did you just see this? That just occurred? He goes, no, what are you talking about, Kevin? I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I was like, okay, and I just shut my mouth at that moment. And then on the way home, I'm listening to opera, which I love, and in the car. And at that time, we had cell phones that were attached to the car, and so I was talking to my friend as well. And from the right, a light just filled up the car again, and I was so astonished by the experience. I pulled over, and I said, "What is this? What is this? What's happening to me here?" About 2 days later, I got the next lesson here. I'm trying to remember the title of it, but it was just a couple of days later, like lesson 16 or 17. And within the lesson, it says, if you're doing the exercises properly, you are going to see periods of light within your experience. Do not be disturbed by this. This will not continue. Don't worry about this. It will end. It is an indication that you are beginning to experience vision. What is vision? Vision is reality. Your perception, though, is the opposite of your vision. Your vision experiences when you suspend judgment entirely about your world. So when you experience yourself and the world and other people within it without judgment and with love, which we are talking about this evening, you will experience from time to time the light of God within you. Again, it's not a metaphor, it's a reality. Does everyone understand that? Hello? Did you all get that? Okay, good. I talk loudly. You can too. There's no problem there whatsoever. Okay, so let me go then into the first paragraph here. And this is why it says, there is a light in you the world cannot perceive. So yeah, normally other people like my friend Chad cannot see the light. Okay, but I was going through the exercises very with discipline. And with its eyes you will not see this light, for you are blinded by the world. Now that's an astounding statement from A Course in Miracles. But what it really is telling you is this. Look, you're either asleep and in darkness, or you are awake and beginning to experience the light within yourself and within your brothers and sisters. Okay, there's a difference between those two. One way of knowing that you are awake is, I feel the love of God within me now. Most people do not experience that fact at all. They feel, I feel the sin of the world within me now. I feel like the stuff on the bottom of a garbage can within me now. And because of that, they're asleep. They're unaware of the light that God has placed within them and within the world. Okay, this is how we change the dream of suffering, the dream of sleepiness, to a dream of happiness. of love, of peace, goodness, of kindness, and of joy. The fruits of the Spirit. You begin to experience it within your interactions with other people. All right, if you understand that, say yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
To feel the love at the end of the paragraph, to feel the love of God within you is to see the world anew. Oh my God, I could just spend an hour just on that. So let me just finish here. Shining in innocence, alive with hope, and blessed with perfect charity and love. To feel the love of God within you is to see the world anew. Last week I said to you, and you all can watch it, by the way, on the videos on the website, the Academy. But last week I said, look, man, I use the lesson all the time. The lesson that says, I loose the world from all I thought it was. Why? I want to release myself from time and space. Okay? I want to enter myself into the eternal, timeless now. And when you are experiencing the eternal, timeless now, you then begin to experience the world anew. You don't use the past or the future to bring over to the present moment anymore. The moment that you use the past or the future and cover over the present moment, you're asleep. You're sleeping. Okay, and you're probably afraid too about what you are, where you're going, and where you came from. Okay? When you see the world anew, you then can experience what A Course in Miracles calls shining in innocence, alive with hope, and blessed with perfect charity and love. Because love cannot be extended to another person if you are coming from the premise of the past or the future. Because again, you are covering over the present moment. So you want to you want to extend the love of God to everyone. So you have to experience yourself and the world in the now. Be here now. So number 2, can you do this as well, Susan?
Sure.
And then we'll go around the circle here.
Okay. Who could feel fear in such a world as this? It welcomes you, rejoices that you came, and sings your praises as it keeps you safe from every form of danger and of pain. It offers you a warm and gentle home in which to stay a while. It blesses you throughout the day and watches through the night as a silent guardian of your holy sleep. It sees salvation in you and protects the light in you, in which it sees its own. It offers you its favors its flowers and its snow in the thankfulness of your benevolence.
Okay, a couple of things here. Who could feel fear in such a world? Who could feel fear in such a world as this? What is this that it's referring to? Who could experience fear in any way, shape, or form when they understand that within themselves they can feel the love of God within them? Okay? That means that they are in the eternal, timeless now. Okay? That's why they are experiencing the comfort of being here and now. Then how possibly could you be afraid about anything? Anything at all? You know, we're talking a little bit in the previous paragraph a bit about time and space. You know, whenever my spouse and myself are experiencing a thought of limitation or lack or fear of anything, and Aaron knows this very well within me, that either him or myself are entertaining a moment of the separation, immediately I will respond by saying one of three things. There is nothing to fear. God is only love. Number one. Now, the reason I use that affirmation is because you have to do what A Course in Miracles asks us to do, and that is to trace the effect back to the cause. You have to trace the children back to the mother, as the Taoists say. So, at the very foundation of any suffering that you're experiencing, always it is related to your belief in fear, which is an illusion. So you have to remove it. There is nothing to fear. God is only love. That's one. The second statement I say to myself as well is, there is no death. I am free. Okay? So I'm not tethered myself to an idea or a notion of death. That is situated within time and space, which is illusory, and therefore, so is death. Okay? You and I are not going anywhere anytime soon at all. Okay? Okay. And those two affirmations, what happens? It allows the illusions to begin to dissolve in your experience. Again, you're no longer bound by it anymore. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any comments or questions about this?
No.
Okay.
Other than, I will say this, that when I'm feeling in a place of fear or doubt or separation, after studying the Course, I come back to myself quicker because I can realize it and I can see it and I say stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then the moment I can realize that I'm in a place of dis-ease and like fear or feeling anxiety or something, and I say an affirmation and it just, my whole perception will shift and I'll feel at peace.
Yeah.
Right then, and I realized that at that moment I was asleep because I'd forgotten that I'm forgotten that I'm one with God.
Exactly.
And one with my sister and brothers. So then when I remember that, and it's like then I become awake again.
Yeah. So enlightenment then, as you say, Lori, enlightenment and the atonement does not ask that you never have a moment of fear. It does, however, ask you not to keep it, to hold on to it. And that is the mark of a person who's going through A Course in Miracles and practicing the principles within it, by how quickly you and I can let go of a grudge, of a grievance, or anything that we have from our brothers and our sisters. That's it. That's all that A Course in Miracles is really asked of us. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Kevin, could
Yeah.
you just say those two affirmations again that you
yeah.
just said?
Actually, I missed the third one.
Yeah.
So the first one, I'm here. Thank you so much for being here. The first one is, there is nothing to fear. God is only love. Number one. There is no death. The Son of God is free. That's the parlance of A Course in Miracles. And the third one that I've been using this week as well, is so easier for me. I was driving and I'm like, really, what's another way of saying this? There is no time and space, and I am free. Okay? That one was so helpful for me. Look, yeah. You know, I've said this a couple of weeks ago, we want to be disciples of the Christ or Buddha or whatever, but we have to be disciples with discipline. Discipline. Okay. All right, any other questions or comments? Okay. Okay. 3. Do 3 and 4.
Do you want me to do it? Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry, Lori, yes.
This is the world the love of God revealed. It is so different from the world you see through darkened eyes of malice and of fear that one belies the other. Only one can be perceived at all. The other one is wholly meaningless. A world in which forgiveness shines on everything and peace offers its gentle light to everyone is inconceivable to those who see a world of hatred rising from attack, poised and avenge to murder and destroy. Yet is the world of hatred equally unseen and inconceivable to those who feel God's love in them. The world reflects the quietness and peace that shines in them, the gentleness and innocence they see surrounding them, the joy with which they look out from the endless wells of joy within. What they have felt in them they look upon and see its sure reflection everywhere.
Okay, a few things here. Wow. At the beginning of paragraph 3, this is the world, the love of God. The world, the love of God reveals. It is so different from the world you see. Listen to this. It is so different from the world you see through darkened eyes of malice and of fear. This is the difficulty that the majority of the people in this world experiences. Why? That they do not know that they experience the love of God within themselves. Okay? So, and I talk about this in my book, chapter 3. It's all on my website and here as well. That what we want to do is experience ourselves as believing instead that somebody else has the treasure, somebody else has the love, and so I have to go and trying to retrieve it from him or her. Do you get this?
Right.
Okay, so then what we have then is two sets of expectations living in frustration, calling it a relationship. And it's anything but a relationship, okay? It's a break of communication. So that is an egoic device that you and I have, that the love of God is not within me right now, it's elsewhere, okay? And my special love I have with this person. But what happens? That special love will eventually turn into what? My special hate. It's getting awful quiet here.
Okay, explain that.
Okay. So look, that means, Rhonda, that we are asking other people to be something that they were never meant to be. And that is to bring me happiness, love, joy, and so forth. A sense of comfort, a sense of worth, and so forth. All of that is BS.
Right.
It's total BS. So when our special love then doesn't match our expectations, what happens? Then we begin to turn our hatred toward him or her because of it. This is why this says, it is so different from the world you see through darkened eyes of malice and of fear. You see this? Mm-hmm. That's why people are on a battlefield constantly, a war against what? Itself, the world. So the opposite of A Course in Miracles is this, that you object to most everything within the world that you see. Right? So you object to it. And so you say, oh, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. Look, it is you. It is your projection externally. That's what you're experiencing. There is nothing outside of you that is separate from you. Nothing whatsoever. So you have to own it. You have to own it. You know, okay, it's what? 7:45. I could do this. So I thought about this today. I wanted to ask you a question. Now, this is backward for those watching on Facebook Live, but it says what should be. What should be, okay? If you look at the world right now, your mentality from time to time will say, oh, it should look like this. That person should act this way. Our president should do this. You know, our state rep should do this. Our school should do this, and so forth. Does anybody have any shoulds at all?
Oh, yeah.
Give me one. What should be? Anybody?
I have one.
Yeah.
The public schools should issue textbooks like they used to do when we were in school.
Okay.
You don't get them now.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you have to buy your own
In public
textbooks
schools?
and
Public
everything?
schools, you don't even get them.
Well, anyway, okay, so that's one thing that should be. Anything else? Okay, come on, folks. I know that you're thinking this, Rhonda. Okay.
The world
Ah.
should be at peace.
Okay.
It should be.
Very
Okay,
good.
should be at peace. Good
Very good.
call here.
Women
Now-
should make as much money as men for the
Okay,
same work.
okay. Here's the problem
We should
with
all
your,
help each other.
okay, here's the problem with your what should be list here. What you are reacting to and what you are interacting with is an effect. So it's already over and done with, period. So you can't go to the mirror and trying to change it in any way or to improve it at all. Period. It's already over. The past is gone. And that is what A Course in Miracles says, and I repeat it to myself every day. Okay? The past is gone. And with its passing, the drive for vengeance is uprooted and will disappear. Why? Number one, you have forgiven the past of everything you think it did to you. That's why the egoic mind will always say to the world, oh, you need to improve. You need to make yourself better. Okay, what does that do? That says to ignore myself and what I'm looking in my own mind, which is this. I'll give you an example. If I say to you, the world is broken and it needs to be fixed, what do I really mean? That I am broken and needs to be fixed. You see, nobody looks at themselves and says, oh, that's me, projecting out into the world that's within me. So I'll give you an example. I have a friend here in West Palm Beach who was having difficulty with gay people. Okay?
Really?
Yeah, I don't even mention this person's name. But it's here in West Palm Beach. And so I'm not here to improve him at all or to give him a fix at all. But I do know that when a person has a difficulty with that, you know, if somebody is gay like myself and they have a difficulty with me, what's really happening in that person's psyche? What's really happening is that person is having a war not against homosexuality. They are having a war against themselves. You get this?
Yeah, they're rejecting themselves.
They're rejecting that part of themselves
Right.
individually. And then so forth, they then project it outwardly. Therefore, I'm not bad anymore. I'm not gay anymore. They are. They're the gay person there. And that's why a lot of people who have the projection of homosexuality to other people, they really need to own it themselves. Okay? Am I right about this?
Yeah.
Homophobia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fear.
Exactly.
Fear.
This is what we do in every instance when you are at war. So, you have your should list, right? I'm giving you
What is.
the salvation of what is. Number one, again, the past is already done and over with. For you to exert effort to try to change it is useless. It's completely useless. So all you really have to do about anything in the past that has occurred is to see it as one of two things. That person is having a call to love, number one, or that person is having a call to health, regardless. And that is how I will respond to that accordingly. Number one. Number two, all things, I accept all things as they are right now. Why? It's already been reflected outwardly. Okay? So it's my responsibility to accept it 100%. It's a projection of my own mind. Okay. Third, you can change what you experience in the mirror. Okay? This is why this course is so important. It's saying to look, the world wants to cover you with peace and joy and peace and an offering of security and protection. That's all of that has been given to you already. But we reject it the moment that we try to fix what is not broken. Okay? So when we change, now we're talking here in that paragraph about peace, for instance. Okay? I'll give you another example. You with me here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll give you another example. Peace. Who said you want peace? Was it you? And remind me,
Georgie.
Georgie, that's right.
The world should be at peace.
Okay. Now you understand why now your
I need to
responsibility
be at peace.
exactly is to accept that peace within your own mind. So, yeah, right now, Georgie, you've got the peace of God and the love of God within you right now. It's there, and I can see it, by the way. And it's beautiful. So what people do with that peace that has been given to us and that gift that has been given to us is we say, oh, I want peace outwardly here, but then on inside their minds, they don't want it. Okay? If people say to you, hey, I don't like war, the question on the table is, why do you have a war within your own mind? That war that you are entertaining within your mind, that battle, is going to be external in your experience every time. So your responsibility and my responsibility is to remove myself from the battlefield, to remove myself from the war that I have placed myself upon it. Okay? That's why I accept all things as they are. That is the reason why you want to be experiencing peace at all the time. Okay? The moment that you try to correct what has already occurred is the moment that you experience suffering. Okay? Suffering is the result of not accepting what is.
Resistance.
Resistance.
Exactly. That was in my post from somewhere. Yes, you resist it. Okay? If something is going to me personally, I have to say, okay, there is no resistance from myself to myself, no resistance from myself to my relationships or to the world. The moment that you experience that resistance, you then go to sleep and you begin suffering. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
So is there a way to experience pain without resistance?
Yes.
So you could experience pain in the moment, but it wouldn't be suffering, and there wouldn't be any resistance. It would just be what is.
Yes. So I think that I'm the perfect example of this, because I went through what people thought was painful. 2 brain surgeries 10 months ago, and during that process, I I had to remind myself of the principles that I brought into bear from A Course in Miracles. Number one, I don't have to see that experience or that pain as a bad thing, number one. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, so let me just say this instead. A Buddhist technique works for me as well. So when I experience anything in my body that is painful, for instance, I don't have to resist it, that we're talking about here, but to instead to become one with it. That I am that. I am, number one. And you sit with the pain wherever it is. Like this last week, okay, I had a knot in my back. I didn't even know I had a knot in my back at all until I was like took my Theracane in the back, and I was like, I've got a knot here. So throughout the week, I just sat with it. And this is the Buddhist technique, to be one with it. Do not resist it. Do not judge it. Do not interpret it. Do not evaluate it whatsoever. Be with it.
Surrender.
Okay? Surrender to it. Okay? And secondly, again, what you will have a temptation to want to see it as a bad thing, and it's not. Okay? If you can experience it instead as a holy moment, that there's holiness there, not darkness, not sin, not sickness, but holiness, the sacred. So when you bring that sacred quality to the experience, what happens to it? The lines and the separation begins to dissolve. Okay? Because all that you're really doing to recover through that process is you are removing the very source of sickness, which is your belief in the separation. So you would literally, and this is why forgiveness is so important, okay? You remove the lines and the demarcation that you have placed between yourself and the world. Does that make sense? Okay.
I'm just going to say, from my perspective, from my understanding, the subconscious sees emotions like fear, pain, grief as threats, and will go into the fear brain. But it's in my opinion that God gave us emotions to use them as GPSs. We just haven't figured out. We've stuffed them and denied them and resisted them so that they are painful. So if you can sit with that emotion and maybe get the lesson from it, or the healing, or the new direction from it, it really is a gift. So it's showing up in your life for a purpose. It's there for a reason. And in the surrender, that's when you get the wisdom. Because our emotions are a link between our human self, where we create and work and play and do all that, and our spiritual sacred self, which is, peace, joy, wisdom. And if we don't process and be with those emotions, we're going to kind of block that conduit with crud, stuffed emotions. So when we be with them and surrender to them and allow them to be, and not resist them or judge them or shame them, then the wisdom comes in.
Yep.
It's the old cliche. I hate to minimalize it because that was really beautifully stated. It's go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
The simple old cliche of go with the flow. And as I get older in life, different experiences, different decades, it takes on a different meaning, yet it's still the same. It just has deeper meaning.
Yeah.
Very important to of course it's a gift.
Yeah. Now, we started a little later, and normally on Facebook Live we go like an hour. So we're going to a little longer, if that's okay with you. I just want to mention one other thing that you helped me to remind myself about this. Does anyone here aware of quantum
Physics?
Quantum physics, quantum mechanics or anything like this?
Yeah.
Okay. So most people who are aware of this see the double split experiment of the light, of whether it goes to the particle or the wave. Okay. And so when you understand this, it's really A Course in Miracles too, the difference between form and content. So in the quantum field, for instance, you know, what 100% in that field is the wave, not the particle whatsoever. It's the wave. And you and I want to ride the wave all the time because it does bring you joy and peace and so forth. It does. However, the particles want to come, the voice of the ego, if you will, would come in and bring its interpretation to you. Your evaluation of the world and of yourself, right? So at that moment, here as well, in the quantum field as well, the particles then come and interrupt the wave. So you miss the joy, you miss the life, you miss the love that is being given you by your source to ride the wave. No! The particles come in and obstruct it. You all get this?
If we allow it to, right.
So yeah, and a little, yes, we're actually going to read it here in just a few moments where it says, do not interfere with the plan whatsoever. Don't interfere. Because the moment that you interfere, you're asleep. You're not awake to the awareness that the love of God can be felt within me right now, in this moment. Okay? The moment that I evaluate or judge this moment, I'm no longer in the now. I'm in the past. Okay? Any question or comment about that? Okay, Charlie, am I doing okay?
Very well.
Okay. I try to be very mindful of my interactions with other people. That's why we really try to be respectful, and courteous, and mindful, no judgment whatsoever. Okay, the next two paragraphs.
All right, we're at 4 and 5.
5
5 and 6.
What would you see? The choice is given you. But learn and do not let your mind forget this law of seeing. You will look upon that which you feel within. If hatred finds a place within your heart, you will perceive a fearful world, held cruelly in death's sharp-pointed, bony fingers. If you feel the love of God within you, you will look out on a world of mercy and of love. Today we pass illusions as we seek to reach to what is true in us and feel its all-embracing tenderness, its love.
Are we on the same, or just one moment?
I'm on the same with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on 6?
Yes.
Yeah.
There I go with my numbers again. I'm sorry. You will go ahead.
Okay. I'll start that sentence over again. So
Today
6.
we pass.
Today we pass illusions as we seek to reach to what is true in us and feel its all-embracing tenderness, its love which knows us perfect as itself, its sight which is the gift its love bestows on us. We learn the way today. It is as sure as love itself to which it carries us. For its simplicity avoids the snares, the foolish convolutions of the world's apparent reasoning, but serve to hide.
And one more.
Okay. Simply do this. Be still and lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is, all concepts you have learned about the world, all images you hold about yourself. Empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false, or good or bad, of every thought it judges worthy, and all the ideas of which it is ashamed. Hold on to nothing. Do not bring with you one thought the past has taught nor one belief you ever learned before from anything. Forget this world, forget this course, and come with wholly empty hands unto your God.
Okay.
Wow.
So the operative,
everything.
yeah, Charlie.
No, I'm just saying it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wonderful.
I really love the statement, empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false or good or bad.
It's everything.
Why? It's wanting you and I to release ourselves from judgment. Duality-driven judgment. Okay? So this is what Adam and Eve, as well as the prodigal son, experience as well. They left the inheritance that has been given to them. Okay? And they mired in themselves in time and space to see, hey, I'm going to see if this works. I'm just going to see whether this brings me happiness and joy and peace, when in fact, it didn't at all. It always leaves you and me wanting more. Because my temptation to want to have more removes me from the eternal timeless now.
You're right.
Okay? We have to be mindful of that. This is why the statement as well says, we learn the way today. It is as sure as love itself, to which it carries us. Because it does carry us. It does. We don't have to manipulate the world or people. We don't have to orchestrate time and space to try to get an outcome that we like. Baloney. The happiness, the love, the peace, the joy that has been given to us has been given to us now. And if we don't experience that in this moment, we're asleep.
Yep.
We're asleep. You have a question, Charlie?
Not at all.
I have a comment.
Yes, Lori.
It brings to mind in the Bible, it talks about where we shall bloom where we're planted. And we're always on, and the course, how it says, the course says so beautifully, we're always on holy ground.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, I don't know exactly where.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But bloom where we're planted. No matter the circumstances around us, where we are, who we're with, that we bloom where we're planted. We are always remember that we're always on holy ground, no matter where we
Yeah.
are.
I think that you're referring to in the Bible where it says, I am like a tree by the river that shall not be moved. Is that the one that you're referring to?
It could be.
Similar to it. Yeah, I shall not be moved. I'm a tree by the river, and I shall not be moved to another place. I'm not here right now, and I cannot be moved to the past or the future. I'm here now. That's what C.S. Lewis said as well one time. I don't want anything new to happen to me. I don't want anything. I don't want to be around the next corner or over the next hill. I'm here now, and that's enough. That's enough. Okay? The next last one's here. Can you do that?
Charlie?
Charlie?
Sure.
Charlie, yes.
Let's see, where are we, on 8?
Eight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought we were seven.
8 and 9.
Okay.
I read 7.
Oh, you did, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 8 and 9.
Is it not he who knows the way to you? You need not know the way to him. Your part is simply to allow all obstacles that you have interposed between the Son and God the Father to be quietly removed forever. God will do his part in joyful and immediate response. Ask and receive. But do not make demands, nor point the road to God by which he should appear to you. The way to reach him is merely to let him be. For in that way is your reality proclaimed as well. And so today we do not choose the way in which we go to him. But we do choose to let him come. And with this choice, we rest. And in our quiet hearts and open minds, his love will blaze its pathway of itself. What has not been denied is surely there, if it be true and can be surely reached. God knows his Son and knows the way to him. He does not need his Son to show him how to find his way. Through every open door, his love shines outward from its home within and lightens up the world in innocence.
Okay? And I want to read the prayer that is following together as we end. But before we do that, I want to make a remark regarding the last two here. Where it says, your part is simply to allow all obstacles that you have interposed between the Son of God and the Father to be quietly removed forever. So that is the purpose of A Course in Miracles. It is not here to help you to find love. It's not here to try to help you to find joy or happiness. It is here, however, to teach you and myself how to remove all of the obstacles that we have interposed between ourselves and our source. That's it. It's that simple. You know, that's what A Course in Miracles says, that salvation is nothing more than the recognition that what was never true is not true now and never will be. That the impossible has not occurred. What is the impossible? That I am separate from my Father and my Father is separate from me. That I am separate from my brothers and my sisters and they are separate from me. That impossibility has not occurred. It only occurs in the dream state, not in reality. That's why people go to sleep. Because the dream is the only venue in which an illusion can be afforded reality. And it's not. So that's why dreams can appear in your experience from time to time. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Any questions before we read the prayer together? I know!
This is a heavy.
Oh, man.
Beautiful.
That's why, Rhonda, that I am inviting everyone here on Facebook Live and YouTube as well, and here as well, to join us on a journey through A Course in Miracles together. Starting with Lesson 1 in the lessons, okay, in A Course in Miracles, and join us in a month going through the new version of A Course in Miracles, the handwritten notes of Helen Chuckman. And I can promise you this. I'm not going to make any demands, as this is said here, but I can promise you that it will help you to awaken to the reality of who you really are. And it will bring you happiness and peace that you have already experienced within your mind. So, any questions or comments about that? Okay. All right. Let's read this together. Father, we do not know the way to you, but we have called, and you have answered us. We will not interfere. Salvation's ways are not our own, for they belong to you. And it is unto you we look for them. Our hands are open to receive your gifts. We have no thoughts we think apart from you, and cherish no beliefs of what we are or who recreated us. Yours is the way that we would mind and follow. And we ask but that your will, which is our own as well, be done in us and in the world, that it become a part of heaven now. Amen. Wow.
Preach.
My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Okay, we're gonna have some cookies and break bread, and commune with each other for a few moments after we're done here. I want to mention one other thing here. Look, we've got on our bookstore here, as well as on our website as well. Look, this is a wonderful book. The Universe is a Dream by Alexander Marchand. I have read this book years ago, and it's all, by the way, it's in a like a cartoon. What do they call this? A cartoon? Yeah. It's very brilliant and was so helpful, and it is from A Course in Miracles. And Alexander, and he's written several books. This is, I think, is his first one, and I really want to promote it. It's on our website and here as well. The Universe is a Dream, the Secrets of Existence Revealed. Okay? That's right here and our website. You look really happy about this. And, of course, we have Course in Miracles based on the handwritten notes of Helen Schuckman is also here, is available here and on the website. And, boy, folks, as no one has told you today that they love you, allow me to be the first. I love you so much. And everyone, tell them that you love them as well.
We
love
We love you. And you are pure light. Thank you.